Hello everyone, and welcome back to another My Opinion video, where I'm once again talking about an anime because I like doing that. I've been watching a lot of different animes recently, good and bad, and some questionable ones, but for the most part good. And today I'm going to be talking about an anime that I don't really know how I feel. Like, I love it and hate it at the same time. And by hate it, I mean there's an ending that I really can't say much about, but I'm gonna try to be as spoiler-free as possible for this one, unlike the other ones, so if you want to check this out for yourself, you can, since I'm only gonna tell you, like, the premise of the whole thing. So, we have our main character. He's all, like, at school, he's a student, and he has a crush on his teacher, and not too long after that, sleeps with another girl who isn't his teacher, who he doesn't have a crush on as much. And yeah, after that, it turns out his dad's getting remarried, and it just so happens that the woman his dad's remarrying is the mother of both the teacher and the girl he slept with. So it was kind of crazy. And the concept itself already sounded really crazy to me. And I was just looking forward to seeing exactly what was going to happen. And boy, was I pleased. I absolutely loved the story. There were embarrassing moments. There were funny moments. There were sad moments. I never even thought an anime with only one season under its belt had the ability to write such a fantastic story. By the way, if you guys want to know the name, it's the series is called Domestic Girlfriend. Okay. I believe they've already said that plans for maybe a season 2 might happen, but they don't know for sure. Which I would love a season 2. I would absolutely love it. It would definitely kind of unfold some of the stories that were left behind in the anime. Because the thing I actually deal with is that I don't like watching, like, subs or anything, or, like, manga or stuff. I like the anime dubs, and I don't want to read the mangas on, like, the actual stories, because they just don't captivate me as much. Even if I do love to read, it's really not a whole thing that I want to have to literally go headfirst into and spend like $30 just to finish the story. I really want to see a season 2 in English dubbed. I would love to see that. The story was really, like, intense, interesting, a bit nerve-wracking, and overall, it was just really crazy. And I admit that when I first started, I didn't know what I was gonna feel, because I've always known myself as a person who only likes comedies and action movies. But I've really started to grow a liking for these, like, awkward romance type things, and I don't know why, but it really gets my interests. I don't really know what else I can say that wouldn't be spoilerish. I want to say as much as I can, but the story's just too good not to go watch. Overall, this anime really stuck out to me. I thought it would be another anime where some awkward brother-sister relationships get in the way of their feelings, and that's just really awkward, but the fact that they barely tried to bring up the whole brother-sister thing and just think about it like, this can't work because this is that and this is that way instead, not just the brother-sister thing, but also age and also past. It was all it was so captivating. I couldn't stop watching. And when I did stop watching, my only thoughts were, oh, what could be happening in that series right now? I must go back to it! And I would just immediately go back to watching it. This whole first season, sadly, only does have one season. I never knew it could happen. Me loving a series through and through. Even Avatar, The Last Airbender, had its flaws, or other things. Like all those shows that are claiming to be perfect, I've had a few problems with. But for this, it was just it was just fun. And also scary and shocking and nerve-wracking. It was everything I want to see in a show. I loved this show. This was so good. And honestly, I couldn't think of less than one flaw. And I don't even really have to explain it too well because it's kind of obvious inside the show itself. But kind of like one flaw is the character dynamics and the romance. It sometimes makes sense, but at other times doesn't. But for the most part, it is also well done, so that's the very small complaint since most of it is very well done. I personally loved it. I really, really loved this whole season. I really hope this series gets a season 2. If it does, you bet your buttons I would go ahead and watch it, and I don't know why I said buttons. I'm stupid. But I thought this was great. I have never found an anime that kept me entertained and emotionally invested for the entire series. Not even my favorite. Not even my favorite anime that I've been watching so far has pulled that off until now. I would love to rewatch this entire series just because I want to see how the story would play out a second time around rewatching. But this series, highly recommended. I really do recommend this series if you haven't checked it out yet. And who knows, maybe I'll find a series like it. I have a couple more lined up, and I plan to start releasing more of these, in my opinion, anime videos. If you don't like them, sad, because they have the most effort put into them recently. Like, even my gaming videos are kind of like a sideline compared to these. But thank you all for tuning in, and actually, maybe I should talk about the characters a little bit before I actually move on. So the characters. I like most of the cast. Well, I do question the main character. He's passable. I think the dubbing is a little bit awkward with the fact that he talks like this almost the entire time and only shows like one sense of emotion through the entire thing. But for the most part, he's alright. I like him as a main character. And I do feel for the struggles he goes through, and most of the other cast can be summed up in a emotional mess, but still entertaining to watch. And I generally did think it was really good. But yeah, that was my entire thoughts on the show or anime Domestic Girlfriend. And I would 10 out of 10 recommend it. I really liked it. Even if it did have an ending that left me wondering, can there be more? I don't want this to be how it ends. If it is ended, I wish the ending was a little bit better, but at least it wasn't like Legend of Korra where the ending ruined the entire anime for me. And Korra isn't even an anime, it's a cartoon. Looked like an anime, but hey, it ruined it for me. But for Domestic Girlfriend, weird name, great show, loved it. Thank you all for listening, and if you haven't yet, I recommend checking it out. It's a pretty good anime. And I shall see you all around. Peace.